Alright guys, welcome to the video. Today I think we're going to take some photos of strangers. I went out yesterday around 1 or 2 and it was super harsh light, so I didn't photograph anything. But I have a couple places that I want to go. It's around 10 a.m. now, so the light is a little bit better, it's a little softer. And yeah, I have the speed graphic with me and the Pentax 6.7, so let's get to it. Alright, house number 1, here we go. Hey, how you doing?
How's it going?
My name is Brian, I'm a photographer. Is that your beautiful car out here?
It is.
I am doing a project on classic cars and their owners, and I was wondering if I could get a picture of you and a picture of the car.
How much money you got?
I have to check my wallet.
No, I'm teasing you. Yeah, you want to do it now?
Yeah, I have my camera, I'm ready to go. It's a big film camera though, so it takes all the
Free to pull it back so you get the front of it or anything?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I want to go about it. Yeah, maybe if you don't mind just backing it up a little bit, maybe like right here. Trying to get my car out of it. So this first shot is with the bull lens. So we're gonna do FP4, but we're gonna pull it to 50. Ready for your close-up?
Oh.
I think I'm gonna have you stand about right here. See what this looks like. Just try to be still for me. A little windy today.
Yeah.
All right, stay just like that for me. See what my light needs to be. All right, look down the lens for me. Perfect. Just like that. Down the lens for me. 1, 2. Perfect. That guy. One more. Actually, we want to get one with the little guy here. Perfect. And 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So the first thing I wanted to mention in this is that I do in fact get anxiety when I photograph strangers. It's a completely normal thing. As you can see from my videos, I'm not the most energetic or extroverted person, so it should come to no surprise that I might get anxious when meeting new people, but I just wanted to let you know that that's perfectly normal, and I just don't want it to like paralyze you and not wanting to shoot what you want to shoot, because I know that this is what I want to photograph and these are the people that I want to photograph, so I know I'm going to have to overcome that. And at the beginning of the video I said that I was driving around the day before and there was harsh light, and that's the reason why I didn't photograph that day, but a lot of it was from anxiety as well, because I just didn't feel like going up and knocking on doors. I didn't feel like introducing myself, all that stuff that comes with photographing strangers, but that's completely normal, and it's okay sometimes to give into that, but it's not okay to do it all the time. You can't give into it all the time because you'll get nothing done. At some point you're going to have to step up and buck up and do the thing that scares you. And as you can see from the video, it's completely fine. Nothing happened. I didn't die doing it. It's mostly just my head making up stories and trying to scare me from doing what I want to do. So never let that stop you from doing it. You're going to be fine. It's just a little anxiety, no big deal. A lot of people asked about my approach and how I go about actually like going up and introducing myself. One thing I never do is bring my camera up to the door. I just think if they like see you before you get to the door and before you explain yourself, that they might have like a preconceived notion of you wanting to photograph something of theirs or photograph them. So they might already be defensive by the time you get there. So I always go up without my camera. Another thing I don't really do is say like, sorry to bother you, or this may seem weird. I never say anything like that. I just go up, I'm cordial, I'm nice. I make sure I try to smile, stuff like that. And I just tell them what I'm doing and what I want, and if they're open for it. The worst thing they can say is no, and the best thing that they can say is yes. So there's not really many options, and you just want to be honest and authentic with them. And if they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. I never push them or anything like that. I just go on about my day. But if they say yes, I usually just tell them that I have a big camera and I need to have some time to set up. So I let them like chill inside for a little bit. And the reason I do that is it just gives me a little time to like survey the scene and try to figure out my composition, stuff like that. So they're not just like sitting in the corner and waiting around or anything like that. They can just sit inside for a little bit, and then I can do my thing, get my camera set up, and then when I'm ready and perfectly composed, I go back and knock on the door and tell them that I'm ready for their portrait. When it comes to actually taking the photo, I try not to direct that much. I kind of let them do it for me. For this specific video, there was 2 cars blocking the main car. And when I was working on my composition when I first pulled up, I figured that I was just gonna have to work around that because I wasn't gonna ask him to move any cars. I'm just not gonna show up and tell him to move vehicles or anything like that. But when we started talking a little bit and I was telling him about the project, he asked me if he should move the vehicles. And of course, I'm not gonna say no. So that's when he went and moved both the vehicles. So that's usually how I go about like directing or composing or anything like that. Kind of let them handle that and not persuade them, but just like talk to them and know that, just tell them more about my project and about how I usually do things. And they might take the lead and be a little more accommodating for you. And that's usually how I go about directing the compositions. As for technical details for this, I had 2 sheets of FP4, which is a 125 speed film. When I first started to meter for the scene, I was metering in front of the headlight, which was a shadow, and I was metering the windshield, which was a highlight, and the headlight was 1/1000th of a second, and the windshield was 1/2000th of a second. So I didn't want to overexpose too much, and I know you can, but I wanted to be on point as much on point as possible. So I decided right then that I would pull the film to 50. So then I metered everything at 50. And then at that point, the headlight was 1/500th of a second, and then the windshield was 1/1000th of a second. So that's kind of how I metered everything. And this is a lot easier when you develop and process everything at home, because you can kind of pick and choose what you want to pull and push. And that's one of the benefits of doing your processing at your house. As for giving prints or showing them the work, I always get their contact details. I have not given anyone anything yet, but that's because I don't have prints yet. At some point, I am going to get prints of everything, probably 2 a piece, and then just go around one day. And I have their contact information, so I'll probably just make sure I know where they live and just drop off a couple prints. But always try to get their contact info so I can meet up with them later, or make sure that they get the photo that I took of them, because that's the least thing I can do for taking time out of their day. If you have any questions about anything, please let me know. Got a couple weddings coming up, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to be filming, like Analog Artisans and stuff like that. But come November and December, I have no weddings, and I'm looking forward to doing a lot of episodes for that. So stay tuned. I appreciate the support, and I look forward to making the next one.